Hello, Malaysia. Hello, Malaysia. This is Gerryko here, and this is a Wait a Minute production. So this video is made on the 3rd of September 2013. It's a Tuesday, cool day in Selangor, Malaysia. Okay. So one of the guys in my inbox says that this guy named hawgPro007, so maybe he fancies himself as James Bond, and I'm recording this my audio through the microphone provided inside the laptop, the GX70 MSI. So it's not that good. The best thing to do is to have a microphone, and I don't have a microphone because I don't want to like go around carrying a microphone. So you have to bear with my poor quality audio, especially in the movie reviews I have been doing. Sorry about that, but well, too bad. So he asks, can you play Assassin's Creed 3 on highest resolution and high settings? Well, I can say that I've been playing Company of Heroes 2 on this GX70 MSI that comes with a CPU of AMD A10 with the Richland architecture and a GPU of AMD Radeon HD8970M with 2 GB of GDDR5. So, for my assessment, I've been playing the Company of Heroes 2 on almost the maximum settings, but not really the maximum settings because I have that what called anti-aliasing at one notch below the maximum setting. This is because when it comes to smoke particles and whatnot in Company of Heroes 2, it will slow down uh, quite, not that quite, but a bit dramatically. So if I can play Company of Heroes 2 on almost the highest settings, most likely Assassin's Creed 3 will be smoked. No problem playing Assassin's Creed 3. When it comes to Company of Heroes 2, it is RTS or real-time strategy, and there is a lot of calculations involved in Company of Heroes 2 and also Company of Heroes 1. Of course, in Company of Heroes 1, you have to have a very good graphics card or CPU because uh, they did not design Company of Heroes 1 properly. Means they did not design it to maximize graphics cards during its time. It was I don't know what's the term called already. There is a term that makes games that do well in good graphics cards, but the Company of Heroes One was designed not that good. So in this Company of Heroes 2, it is CPU intensive. So the CPU of this A10 inside the GX70 is pretty shitty compared to i5s and i7s of the Intel universe. So if this A10 can play Company of Heroes 2, it would definitely can play Assassin's Creed 3 because the graphics card GPU in the AMD Radeon HD8970M is a high-end graphics card. And Assassin's Creed 3 is actually a FPS. Okay, it's not an RTS, it's a FPS, first person shooter. A first person shooter type of game relies more heavily on the GPU or graphics processing unit and less on the CPU, computer processing. CPU stands for what? Central processing unit, is it? Yeah. Or is it computer processing unit? I'm not sure. I think it's central processing unit. So I can say without playing Assassin's Creed 3, I can safely say I bet my money on maximizing everything in Assassin's Creed 3. Let's take a look at Assassin's Creed 3. Oh shit, fuck. Sorry about that. Okay, when it comes to, like, say, this Cam Studio, it really slows down the computer considerably when I'm playing it or using it to capture my desktop. It is because the CPU, the AMD A10, is not so good. So in the GX70, we want to do video editing or photoshopping or anything that involves like AutoCAD, graphics design. Don't get GX70. Okay, the CPU AMD A10 is shit for such calculations, things that are using a lot of calculations. And even this Cam Studio is well, it's just, I don't know whether it's the design or not, but it does not work well with the GX70. So if you want to like capture desktops, go for i5s and i7s if you have the cash, and also NVIDIA. But for me, Gerryko, I don't have the cash, and I wanted something that has a high-end graphics card without paying through my bloody nose or chopping off my dick to pay for it. That's why I got this GX70. So let's say, so we say Assassin's Creed is a 2012, so it's last year. So the graphics is not that high, especially when considering that it was optimized for the PlayStation 3 and also the Xbox 360 and the Wii U as well. Of course, when it comes to the Assassin's Creed 3 PC version, well, it might take a bit more graphics power. So, as I can say, if I remember correctly, it is the American Revolution. I can see that it looks quite nice, quite pretty. But I would bet that this GX70's graphics processing unit can smoke it quite easily. Then I would like to say that my first encounter with Assassin's Creed and also Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was when I was back in New Zealand. I got a copy from a chap by the name of Stefan, a German guy who is part Turkish. So I got it from him and I played just the first level, and I didn't have interest in it. And also I heard about the reviews on Assassin's Creed 1. It wasn't good because it was repetitive and such. But as time goes by, Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed 3, they got better and better. So, but since I didn't go through the first one, I didn't have the interest to go and play the second and the third one, even though the reviews for it was pretty good. So that's my 2 cents worth on Assassin's Creed 3. When it comes to Company of Heroes 2, you have to have a very good computer. Okay, let's see. The GX70. This is the computer that I'm playing with. Let's check out the specs. So you can see the specs that it comes with Windows 8, and the CPU is the AMD quad core, so it's a quad core for cell processors. I think A10 is a Richland architecture, that is, and it comes with the graphics card AMD Radeon HD8970M. So let's check this out as well. We have the notebook checker. And it comes with a Sound Blaster Cinema, blah 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 blah, and 17.3 Full HD, 1920 times 1080p. And if they say that this GX70 is recommended for Crysis 3, if you can play Crysis 3, you can play Assassin's Creed 3 without breaking a sweat at all. So you can see here the A10 Richland architecture versus the Trinity A10. So it's not much of a difference actually between the Trinity and the Richland, from what I can remember from the reviews. So it wasn't like a big leap at all. And when it comes to the GX70, I'm loving the color scheme or color ability of the Steel Series keyboard. It's very nice. The colors here and there, not bad. This is the color program, which you can change the colors here and there for breathing type of mode and gaming type of mode and whatnot. And also, well, that's it. So we go to notebook checker. Let's take a look at the scores. Okay. Did they change? Did they change everything? This website sure does look a bit different. So let's see, 22 frames per second when it comes to maximum higher or high double high anti-aliasing 8970, and even if it's better than the high-end GTX680. This is a high-end graphics card. How do you know? Well, look at this one. This is a medium range graphics card. The 6, when it comes to this one, if it's an 8 if the number in the middle is an 8, it's a high end. If it's a 7, it's a medium end, and if it's a 6, it would be a low end graphics card, gaming graphics card that is. And the number in front of it is the series or generation. So you want to get the really good graphics card, go for the 8. You don't need to be the 6th generation or 7th generation or the 8th generation. As long as there's an 8 in the middle, that's the one to get. So here, at least this one here, this very new high-end graphics card in the 7th generation of GTX by NVIDIA is a bit better than the 8970M, which is in the GX70 MSI. So within this one here, grade 2, well, again, the GTX 780 high-end graphics card, 7th generation NVIDIA mobile graphics card also trumps it, and even this one as well. But bear in mind, if you want to buy this one GTX 780M, you have to pay off your head just to finance it. So Tomb Raider, I can play high-end, no problem. Crisis, no problem. And this one, as usual, GTX 780 trumps it. And this one is your answer. What's your name again? Sorry, hawgPro007. Yep, you can play at the higher settings, no problem. 20 frames per second. When it comes to, let's say, computer graphics, 28 frames per second is okay. It's not bad. Okay. If you want to get like 60 frames per second, it's even not achievable in Xbox 360 or I think the PS3 as well, because games are rarely 60 frames per second. 60 frames per second is very, very negligible. You can't see the difference at all, from my understanding. So normally for games, if I'm not mistaken, 30 frames per second is always the standard. Anything more than 60 frames per second is just a waste of time and also CPU and GPU work. Okay, and the rest is the Radeon HD 8970 can play them all these games before 2012, no problem. And also the games of 2013, no problem at all. And even games which are like first-person shooters, all these games because of the GPU is very high. But when it came to like say, so this is on as an FPS, it's 112 frames per second, so that's very high. But if you compare it to like say Company of Heroes 2, because it is a CPU based games, it is a lower frames per second. That's what I'm coming at. If you have a very good uh, Intel CPU, like here is i7, you get better frames per second. But if you were using the A10, the frames per second should be lower than this one here, this 22.8. So my GX70 should be lower than 22.8, but it's still playable. is still good to play Company of Heroes 2. Unfortunately, the Company of Heroes 2 that I have is actually not authenticated, and I cannot like fully play or enjoy Company of Heroes 2. I'm just waiting for the Steam sales to lower down the price tag of $60 to hopefully now I would like to buy it at $20. So all of this is like i7, so it is the best CPU ever. So these scores are not reflective of what my laptop GX70 can do. So, but safe to say, Assassin's Creed 3 is a FPS. It relies on GPU and not the CPU. So let's see what else can we see. Notebook processors, uh, sorting by graphics card, benchmarks, comparison graphics, laptop graphics card. So this is the class 1. Of course, the SLIs are always top notch, although I don't trust SLIs at all. And we have there, this is the one that I have, AMD Radeon HD8970. So how far away is it from the highest mark? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is at the 8th rung or 8th spot from the top. And this one trumps this one, even the SLI. This one is a type of a graphics card which is between a mid-range and high-end graphics card, gaming card, graphics card, even the SLI version. There are a lot of cards here, and to be in the class 1 is a very good thing. It's a really high-end graphics card. So where is the second class? Second class are the ones with the GTs. The GTs are also present in the first class. Is it? Not really. Here will be the GTXs. So the GTs are all in the second class. Although the GTs can actually do play games at mid graphics graphics performance or I don't know what to say. So the time when I was playing, I tried the Assassin's Creed 1 in New Zealand. I bought a laptop in New Zealand at half price through some of the websites there, the auction houses. I'm not sure what it's called. So I won the auction, and the laptop that I got is from Dell. It's an XPS one one something 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 1780, I think. Not sure. One, I'm not sure which one is it. With the 8800 GTX SLI 1730, that is. So if you were wanting to buy a laptop, do not trust the reviews from the usual magazines or websites like this notebook checker here. Why? Because they are like a business. They just get their review copies and they just play it for a couple of days and they will move on to another laptop. That's their type of business motto. That's how they operate. And they do not like use the laptop for 1 year or so like us consumers. We are stuck with what we have bought. So the whatever they say is not reflective of what it might be. In this case, if I'm not mistaken, the stars that this one got, this XPS 1730, is pretty good. At 4 stars out of 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's a 4.5 stars. Here as well in the notebook, check the 4.5 stars. It's a very good, very good score for its time. And it comes with a very excellent for its time 8800 mobile GTX SLI. Based on my experience with this Dell XPS M1730 with the 8800M GTX SLI, I came away with three things, three lessons. One, do not trust Dell. Dell is a major corporation. Yes, they sell a lot of computers, but I do not trust them. They did not design the M1730 well, and I don't trust Nvidia as well. Even though Nvidia do make very good graphics cards, which are good for well for rendering, graphics rendering, for AutoCAD, for photoshopping, uh, for video editing. Yes, that you get an Nvidia. But when it comes to games, no problem with the AMDs or the AMD graphics card, no problem. But if you want to do all those things, like what I said, like the AutoCADs and the 3D rendering or the whatever photo video editing, don't go for the ATI, the AMD, sorry, the CPU AMDs. They are not so good. Or yep, it's not so good. But if you want high-end graphics cards, high-end graphics gaming with a low-end price, AMD is the one to go for. So I don't trust Nvidia, and if possible, I will not go for SLIs. SLIs or Crossfires, I do not trust them because of my experience with this XPS M1730. This one got a 4.5 stars out of 5, but I'm going to rip a new one on this fucking stupid laptop. This laptop only lasted for 1 or 2 years with me because the graphics card, the 8800 GTX SLI, is fucked. Nvidia made a mistake taking it out, and they know it. They know it. That's why they came out with the 9800 GTX, just to replace this 8800 GTX, which is prone to heating issues. So does it reflect on this review by Notebook Checker or any other magazines? If they say that this is a very excellent laptop, yes, it is an excellent laptop once you've taken it out of the box. But once you keep on using it for like 6 months or 1 year, what will happen? Will the graphics card burn out itself? As in this case, yes, 8800M GTX SLI burned out. It wasn't designed properly and it died. Okay, I wasted 500 ringgit changing the the chip. I don't know what kind of chip was on that graphics card, and well, I can say that that chip lasted for let's say 3 months before it burned out again, and I'm not gonna pay 500 ringgit more for another replacement. And what I did was I put the damn 8800M GTX SLI from the laptop and put it in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. And after coming out, cool it, put it back in the laptop, and it was fine to use. And I keep on doing that whenever there's a problem. And the problem with this GTX SLI 8800 was heating issues. Once it got too hot on playing games, it will melt the soldering between the chipset and also the graphics card. And that's a major problem for this graphics card. That's why I don't trust Nvidia. How can actually how can they design something that is so fucked up? I paid 1,000 New Zealand dollars for this piece of very expensive paperweight. So that's why I don't like Dell, I don't like Nvidia, and I don't trust SLIs. And I don't really like uh, all these types of websites or magazines that say, "Oh, this is a very good notebook," and they just have it for like say a couple of weeks or a month, the maximum, and after that they just send it back somewhere or they keep it in some room or an archive or storage bin or whatnot. So when it comes to all these reviews, they say it's good or they say it's bad. Take it with a pinch of salt. If they say a laptop is bad, okay, and if that laptop can last for 4 years or 5 years without breaking down or with minimal problems, I would say that deserves a 5 star out of 5. Okay, that's my views on all these reviews. If you want to get the best reviews, go and ask people like such as I who have experienced the GX70 and ask us what is the jiffy or the scope with all these type of laptops. Don't trust all these reviews. This Noble Checker says this is 4.5 stars out of 5. I would say I would give it a 1 star out of 5. 1 star out of 5 is the maximum I can get, and I can give it based on my 2 years experience with it. It is shit, okay, because of that fucking stupid graphics card. And I can't believe that Nvidia did not like give us give recall this stupid graphics card and give us the newer 9800M GTX, which is much better in terms of heat control, dissipation, and it does not heat up easily. But when it comes to this 8800M GTX SLI, it can fry an egg if you put an egg on top of the fucking graphics card. After you played a very high intensive gaming or game, pick up the graphics card in like say 5 minutes, put an egg on it, and definitely you can cook an egg. So that's my 2 cents worth of this thing, and it's almost like almost 1.7 gigs already. That will be the end of my review or this response to this guy here, hawgPro007. So I hope I answered your questions and I also gave you too much information based on my past experiences with Dell XPS M1730. Of course, I bought it at the auction at almost less than half price. You get what you pay for. Unfortunately, that's why I bought this GX70 and did not rely on auction houses and whatnot. Of course, auction houses are not available in Malaysia because, let's say, all those all those websites that have all these things, I don't know what they're called already, lelong or whatnot. The ones from America, they do not cater to us. Even Amazon, you want to get something from Amazon, you shit out of luck. It does not deliver to Malaysia. So see you Malaysia and bye bye. And Hawk Pro 007, see ya.